I've been a lifelong athlete, but very rarely, if ever in fact, have I ever been complimented on the size of my muscles. It's just probably, I'm going to blame my genetic makeup largely for that, but also I have to admit I've never really been one for doing strength and conditioning work, doing a lot of gym work. Had little phases of it, but it's something that I know is very important for older athletes, and I thought, I know that Stu and Michelle have both done quite a bit of gym work in their time. They certainly advised the athletes that they coach to do it, so I thought I'd pick their brains about, you know, how to incorporate S&C training in as an older athlete.
Can start.
Yeah, I mean, I love S&C work. I so wish I did it when I was younger. That was my biggest mistake. I didn't do enough S&C work. I didn't avoid it. I kind of just maybe didn't meet the right people to teach me properly, because we'd always train and end up in the gym with some massive bodybuilder or something. They try and smash me. But as time goes on, I work with physios. I work with a lot of people that are involved in running and stuff and cycling, and I think S&C is so important. I wish I did more, but you live and learn as you get older, and most of my athletes, I'd say to them, you need to go to the gym at least 3 times a week, and it's very important to do S&C work. And do the whole body as well, not just like do upper body, like some people do legs, abs, the whole shebang, so you're absolutely completely balanced.
Well, I came from a running background, and back in the sort of 80s and 90s, S&C was like not even like thought upon really. Like people didn't really sort of get into it much. But biggest mistake I ever made was not do S&C, because I was a walking injury basically, and I had several stress fractures. I just wasn't strong enough in the right areas. And then I came into triathlon, and obviously we started to touch a little bit on S&C, like Stu said, but we didn't really have the right guidance, I think, which is a shame, because we both had so much more to give, I think, in our potential, but we didn't maybe quite reach our potential because we were always injured. So that was one regret that we actually have, is that we didn't have the right S&C plan. That if we knew what we knew now, and we can always say what if, but we can only pass that knowledge on now to our athletes. It literally is, that's your core set. So you want the core, the back exercises, the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves, and if you can cover all of those, also your stabilizers too. So it's not just glute max, but it's also glute medius, glute minimus, all those ones that stabilize you when you run, so you're not dropping, and you're not putting pressure through, like your ITB and your knees and stuff like that. So it's just so important to have the right program. But what we've learned through, all of our injuries is that, it's actually quite simple. It's literally targeting just those crucial muscle groups, which it doesn't have to be difficult. It just means that you might have to be repeating the same exercises, which might become boring, but actually they're the ones that work. So just do them, and that's what we do. We do at least 3-4 times a week of those kind of exercises. Yeah, we do.
I go to the gym.
I've got my mats. I've got my little bands and stuff.
I go to the gym because I like to use the squat. Well, I actually don't use a squat rack. I use a Smith machine, because if you use a squat rack, if you get the technique wrong, you can actually hurt your back. So I use a Smith machine, so it can't actually go wrong, because you're just going up and down. So safe way to do things. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger actually said that he uses machine weights now. He doesn't use free weights. And I always take information from older people, because they tell you, this is what will happen. You go, I'll be all right, and then you get there, I wish I listened to them.
Yeah, it's true. Old and wise.
Yeah, old and wise. So by the time I'm 100, I'll be a master.
You learn from your own mistakes, don't you, at the end of the day?
They used to call me Skeletor back in the day, so it's kind of affected me. So now if I go to the gym, I'm trying to grow, but it just isn't happening.
Yeah,
I think I do too much cardio, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Apparently if you want to get big, you've got to no cardio and just weights, but I love training, so